Hello there, my name is Maria, and today we're going to delve into how the community stories mode works in Dark Lord. So basically, aside from the main story campaign, there is a custom story editor called Community Stories. It allows you to create your own unique stories from scratch, anything you want to imagine in this Dark Kingdom really, and play through the adventures crafted by other players. So what we're going to do today is we're going to create a short story together, navigate through the editor interface, check all these little windows, settings, figure out what they're there for, and pretty much dive into the heart of this story building process. Now we're on the main menu, but we want to head straight to the community stories. So basically, this page shows us a selection of custom published stories made by other users. We can search, we can click filters and search by tags, keywords, genre, perhaps adventure, or anything that catches your fancy really. Or we can create our own story, which is exactly what we're going to do right now. At the top right corner, we can click new story right away, or we can click the user icon right here, and clicking this takes us to a page showing our recently crafted stories. It also shows us the stories that are still in progress. At the same time, we can continue reading other people's stories. There is the list of them is going to be right here at the bottom of the screen, which is called I'm Reading. To create a new story, we need to click on Create New Amazing Story. And we'll need to think of a story description, tags, select a picture. It's the most important thing, the picture, which provides us a vast array of options. It's always the most difficult task to choose a cover really, because they're all so beautiful. We are supposed to create a title for our story right now. And let's name it Dark Lord, obviously, and the Breakfast Mystery. Alrighty. Now let's come up with any short description really on a short story about the Dark Lord morning. Okay, I'm not going to drop any spoilers of the story that I'm going to come up with, so let's keep it like this. Okay, now what we want to do is save it all before we can proceed, and we shall choose a cover art for our story. There's always the most difficult choice to make, but I like cats really, let's just choose a cat. And now we're supposed to create the first episode. You can create multiple episodes and they're going to be played one after another once you win the previous episodes. Once you lose it, you're supposed to start it over again. But today, just for an example, we're going to create just one simple episode. Honestly, let's just call it the same that we called our story, because there's just going to be one Dark Lord on a breakfast mystery. Description. A description. Also, you can select a cover for each episode. And okay, see, again, I'm supposed to save it all before even choosing a cover image. Again. So many artworks. It's going to be about breakfast. Let's choose this one, and honestly, anything. They're all really good. Alrighty, once we've settled with the titles and the descriptions and the cover images, we shall proceed to creating the story itself. We click Edit Episode. Alright, now we're finally in the story editor interface. And as you can see, there's plenty of different windows, plenty of different folders, cards, this and that. Don't be put off by these things. We're going to figure out how they work and what they're there for. We shall see on the left that there are multiple selections for the background. Again, so many cover images. we're going to talk about breakfast that normally happens in the kitchen. Where do you guys have breakfast? Or you just go to your room or to the living room? Anyway, what do you think is the best pick? Does this look like a kitchen in the Dark Kingdom? I mean, it's probably more about like potions room, library. Let's just go with this one. We can select a table appearance. It's this ribbon on this wooden platform. Let's go with this purple, just like my shirt. And we can also select decor elements. There are just 2 options, but that's more than enough. This cute pair of a cat and a crow and some books, the candles. You see, it's on the left and on the right. It changes the appearance of it, but let's just keep it this way, the way it used to be from the very beginning. I love it. I love this pair, even though you can barely see the cat. But anyway, this is our starting card. This is where the whole story begins, and we're supposed to write an intro line that is going to welcome us once we start a story. Let's go. Wonderfully grim and dark morning. I'm in the mood for some breakfast. Are you? Oh, not really, because that's leaving it for me. Anyway, which options shall we consider? What are the potential 2 responses that we are going to include? Go to the kitchen, or go to the kitchen menacingly. Shall we? It's the Dark Lord after all. Okay, once we're done with the stop card, we can go to the story cards. They're right here, and we click new card. Also, just a quick tip, if you have multiple of those, you can create a whole folder and unite these folders, drag them down below to the folder. And if you have multiple story cards, it's going to make your life a little easier. If you're gonna click delete, it will give you a warning that if you delete a folder, all the cards inside it will be also deleted. Let's just remove it because we really haven't typed anything yet. Okay, let's create a new card in the story cards menu. And there's going to be the second dialogue that happens in our story. And I will show you something important after we are done with this. Now let's enter the second character's line or anything that happens around our character. As you enter the kitchen, you see the cook. He looks lost. Remember, a cliffhanger in a story is always a good idea. Anyway, what are our response cards going to be? Ask him what happened. And ignore him and continue. Ignore him and continue your breakfast plans. Let's now select the cover images that best fit our responses. So this one is like we're wondering what happened, what's going on. But actually, you see a Dark Lord that is in a questionable posture. There's all this question mark around him. There's so many options. So many. You can always find the best fit. Let's just be like this. Ask him what happened. And for this option, we're going to select ignore him and continue breakfast plans. Let's just select this one, an angry step that we're making. And again, the middle card is someone who you're interacting with. and we see a cook. So let's just call this one sad cook. How we shall change the cover image as well, because this definitely does not look like a cook to me. Which one shall we go with? None of them really looks like a cook, but let's just go with this guy. I think he can be a cook. What do you think? Can he? Alright, before we select which each decision leads to, let's create a new story card, actually 2 of those, because I want each of these options lead me to the different cards. Alright, let's now create the card number 9. And we're going to link our first choice with this one. Okay, after the characters line. My lord, someone broke into the kitchen last night and stole all the food. My lord, someone broke into the kitchen last night and stole all the food. Okay, option number 1 is going to be initiate a search for the burglar, or we can just ignore him. Right, ignore him. You have more important matters to attend to. Okay. Okay, alright. Now, again, let's select cover images for both of these responses. We're initiating a search. I want to have a magnifier glass or something like this. Okay, there is one. And ignoring me, have more important matters to attend to. Like, ignore, ignore, we're ignoring you. Again, who we're talking to, again, it's the cook. Let's just name it just cook, not sad cook like before, so we're not being confused between these 2 cards. But again, we are facing the cook, and this is the guy. And we shall go back to the card number 8 and link our left response to this new stories that we have just made. It means once you select this card, you will then be faced with this new dialogue. And as you've probably guessed, the right response is going to be linked to another card. We have not named it yet, but it's card number 10. And we are going to fill all the characters line in right now. So we decided to ignore the cook. We're not going to ask what happened. We open the fridge and encounter an unpleasant surprise. There is no food inside. Who would have guessed? So what our response is going to be like? Where in the Beelzebub's name did all the food go? Do you guys know who the Beelzebub is? Anyway, our second option is, well, no breakfast today. We just accept our fate. Let's now choose the cover images. Angry? Yeah, we can select that one. We're super angry and we want to stick with this image. Well, no breakfast today. Well, we need something more neutral, I guess. or a sad face, really. We didn't happen to have a breakfast. And breakfasts are the most important meals of the day, by the way. So of course we're sad. What are we encountering? What are we interacting with? The fridge. The fridge is going to be our middle card. Honestly, I can't imagine we can find a fridge right here. But let's just find anything that... I mean, you technically have a fridge with a mirror. I don't know. The fridge. How does the fridge look like? Anyway, let's just keep it this way. Imagine we have a fridge with a mirror. Now, as we have linked the card number 8 to the card number 9 and card number 10, right? You just see left choice gets us to the card that is called cook. It means that we have asked the cook what happened, and it takes us to this dialogue. And once we select the right option, it takes us to the fridge card, because we ignored the cook, we did not ask what happened, and we just come up to the fridge ourselves and find out that there is no food there. Okay, and now I'd love to create the win card and a lose card. We're just going to define whether we're going to win in this episode or we're going to lose. Okay, let's call this good ending, right? Just for convenience. Good ending. We're going to say, after a short search, it was revealed that the mysterious burglar was the beloved castle cat. It had also already eaten its prey. What a cat. Anyway, this is going to be a final win card, where this would not matter really which card you select. It's an ending, the victory card, and both of these choices, the left and the right card, are going to still make you win. It does not matter. You've already won if you see this card. So let's just make this easy for us. It's the end and the end, but let's just add a cat. The satisfied cat. Okay, I think I've also seen a perfect image for this, with a small and cute kitty cat. Right. Okay. And this one's just going to be the... Honestly, I'm fine with the thumbs up. I think it perfectly suits the situation. GG, we won. But now we shall not forget to link our story cards with a win card. We shall decide which card will make us win straight away. Okay? So definitely we can only identify who the burglar was by searching for the burglar. And we had these options right here. Card number 9, initiate a search for the burglar. And now we select that it leads to the good ending. Okay. Once we make this choice, it will redirect us to this with victory card, where we find out that it was our cat. We can pet the cat. GG, well played. Everyone wins. Win-win situation for everybody. However, it would not be a Dark Kingdom if we can't lose. Let's create a lose card. This is going to happen once we don't search for the burglar, the mystery remains unsolved, and we remain hungry, unfortunately. Again, as I've mentioned, once you reach the lose or win card, it does not really matter anymore which card you select. Both will still make you win or lose. Here, if we're talking about the lose card, the end and the end had the castle. Okay. It was a satisfied cat before. Here we just pat the castle cat because we don't know that it actually was a burglar. But we are hungry. We don't know. We committed our little crime in our kitchen. So yeah, no beat. And again, we can pet the cat. with this cute little image here and the end. But it's not really a good end, so we can't really give a thumbs up. We shall search for a thumbs down. I don't know. We're hungry, we're unsatisfied, and we look like a zombie because we haven't eaten. Let it just be like this. And we'll name this card Bad Ending. Okay, let's select an image. Okay, this one's a perfect one, in my opinion. We're just screaming. Emotional damage. Anyway, now we shall not forget to link our loose card with a story card. We go to the card number 10, the French, and we make this card lead to the bad ending because we just accept our fate. We don't go look for a burglar. We're like, oh well, no breaks today. And we remain hungry. This one, however, would take us to the card number 8. The cook. Why? Because we're wondering where the hell did all the food go, right? So again, we'll land on this card, on this story card. And by the way, you can see that we did not really select the options for the right card. When we are ignoring the cook, it also makes us land in a bad ending because we don't want to figure out the mystery. Alrighty, it seems like the story has ended. I also want to make an important note about these scales right here. Basically, just like in the main story, those represent mind, magic, fear, and money. And based on your choices, the scales are going to be affected either positively or negatively. If any result drops to 0 or rises up to 10, you will lose. So, if you want to make your game even more sophisticated and add some complexity, some more strategic choices to it, you also add the changes to the scales based on your replies. Let's just randomly go to any card. Let's say this one. Asking what happened. Fear rises to 2. This one makes our might go down to 2 or 3 points or 4. Really, it's up to you. Once the player can't balance it out at the end of the story, they lose. But please try to make it more logical so it's not like all random. It's always best to kind of like try to anticipate at least a little bit what consequences are going to happen after your choices. Okay, let's just leave it like this for now. We shall always validate our story before saving it. Let's just click this button right there. Validation completed, and we don't have any errors, but I'm going to show you what happens if you have any logical errors in your story or you have an infinite loop. Like here, for example, our very first start card, and we're going to select kitchen door, which is the name of our start card, and kitchen door here, both on the left and right. That means, let's go through the validation. That means we have an endless loop. It means that we can't reach one or more win cards from the starting card. So like we can't move any further from this card, and it also shows us an exclamation mark right here. But this is a great tool if you haven't really paid attention to some little details or forgot to link some cards between each other. There is always an option to validate your story and make sure it's all good. Okay, now we shall click save. Changes saved, and we go back. And here we have our story. Finally. Okay, now, are you ready for this? Now, shall we go and check our story in action? Let's play. What a wonderfully Raymond up with. I'm in the mood for some breakfast. Shall we go to the kitchen, or we go to the kitchen menacingly? To the kitchen. As you enter the kitchen, you see the cook. He looks lost. Asking what happened. Continue our breakfast plans. I'm so hungry, really, I can't. You open the fridge and encounter an unpleasant surprise. There's no food inside. No breakfast today. Honestly, I'm not in the mood for arguing. Oh well, it seems like the mystery remains unsolved and we are still hungry. Bad ending. Let's at least just pet the cat. It's a defeat. However, can go again. We shall ask, the sad cook what happened and initiate a search for the burglar. And here we are, landed at a good ending. And we're patting the cat again. And the episode is completed, and the full story is completed because there is just one episode we've created. Alrighty, that's pretty much it. I hope this video has shed some light on how to work with the community stories editor. Now you know the ropes and shall feel more confident to start crafting your own adventures and narratives. Dark Lord is completely free to play. Download it and play it. There is still an incredible journey that awaits you in the main story, and you can always become an author of your own epic quest. You can find the links for downloading the game in the description below. Cheers!